What it do, guys? It's your girl 𝒂𝒏𝒕𝒐, and I am here with We Serve Dope. Okay, difference of opinions presented to educate in an entertaining way. Okay, guys, everything here is allegedly. I'm going to give you my opinion on the alleged things that we talk about today. And what are we talking about today, you ask? Miss Lizzo. Miss Lizzo and the drama she has going on, the allegations against her that is everywhere at this time. If you didn't know, she is being sued by 3 of her dancers for inappropriate behaviors at the job, things that she was making them do, also for body shaming. Ooh, one would say Lizzo body shaming. Yes, Lizzo is body shaming. Yeah. 3 of her dancers has spoke out. I think there's others. Okay, but 3 of them are mainly the ones that are suing, I believe. And they got some things to say. Okay, Lizzo does respond, so we're gonna get into it. Okay, and let's get it. Let go. Disclaimer will be right here. Those of you who've been here already, y'all know in between the clips, I do speak. Okay, I do give my commentary. So if you're not into that, that's okay. That's fine. I won't be for everybody. But guys, that's the way I do it here on my channel. All right, so enjoy.
Now that bombshell lawsuit against Lizzo, 3 former backup dancers are suing the pop superstar, her production company, and her tour's dance instructor, alleging sexual and racial harassment as well as a hostile work environment.
ABC News contributor Kelly L. Carter sat down with the 3 plaintiffs. Take a look.
Yeah, you can have it.
For most, Lizzo is the symbol of body positivity, making so many feel special. But now the multi-Grammy Award winner is being sued for just the opposite. In a new lawsuit, 3 of Lizzo's former backup dancers accused the singer, her dance captain, and production company of weight shaming, creating a hostile work environment through sexual, religious, and racial harassment, as well as assault and false imprisonment.
Girls that look like me don't get representation. Time to pull up my sleeves and find them myself.
Lizzo recruited Crystal Williams and Ariana Davis from her 2022 Amazon Prime show, Watch Out for the Big Girls, and Noel Rodriguez appeared in the music video for Juice. Williams and Davis were then fired in the spring of 2023, and Rodriguez resigned shortly after.
It started off so great. We already had a preconceived love for her because of everything that she stands for.
What's sad about this right here is that they went in as fans. They went in as admiring her movement, what she had going on. So could you imagine, as a kid, you growing up, or even not as a kid, I don't care if it was for 2 years or a year, but you admire somebody, you look up to them, you think that they're one way, and then you get involved with them, or you get a chance to be a part of whatever they got going on, and it turns out to be fraud, not really what you thought. That's a shitty feeling. That's crazy.
The lady shared details of some of the allegations in the lawsuit, including weight shaming.
They would always ask, you seem different, what's wrong? My demeanor was the same, my energy was the same, my dance ability was the same. It was the first time I had showed up noticeably having gained weight. And she said that she was worried about me. I can only contribute that to my weight gain. I know it's alarming to hear that Lizzo, a plus-size woman who preaches body positivity, would be fatphobic, essentially.
Yeah, very alarming.
But I want to challenge people to understand that, hurt people.
Davis alleges Lizzo pressured her into touching a nude performer at a sex show in Amsterdam.
She started to chant after I had said no multiple times. She was like, Ari, Ari. And then everyone kind of joined in, Ari, Ari.
I think we all kind of been here, right? Where we get pressured into something and it's like, do it. It feels like shots, right? When you go out with your friends and they're like, shot, take a shot, do it. Could you imagine that pressure at a sex show to do something sexual? Could you imagine that? Ew, Shame on you, Lizzo.
I briefly touched the performer and withdrew my hands, and, you know, everyone kind of burst into laughter because me, of all people, they thought it was funny that I was touching this performer. I kind of laugh it off, and sorry, I'm a little emotional about it. I kind of laugh it off, and I even remember making jokes about it because I just was trying to get the attention away from me.
Could you not have left earlier?
We're here because we want to be good enough for Lizzo.
We then discussed a claim that Lizzo physically threatened Noelle after saying she wanted to resign.
I just said, I feel unsafe, I feel disrespected, there's a bunch of mistreatment and just unprofessionalism going on. She basically started to ball up her fists and crack her knuckles, and she was like, ooh, you're so effing lucky right now, but she's like inching her way towards me, alluding to, you're so lucky I'm not going to hit you. Her best friend, who's also one of our dance members, she jumped out of the couch and she was like, had to go and physically pull her back from hitting me.
Hey now. Who believes this part? Because not for nothing, something about Lizzo, I've always felt like something about her can't stunt, but she does seem like mean to me. Like, she don't really seem like cool. Like, I've never got cool from her, like never. So I could see her doing this right here. I could see her doing this, the cracking the knuckles and all that. I could see that.
In a new statement posted to her Instagram, Lizzo called the allegations false and outrageous, saying in part, these sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional, adding, I know what it feels like to be body shamed on a daily basis and would absolutely never criticize or terminate an employee because of their weight.
Okay, but even still, taking them to the sex show and making them eat bananas out of JJ's and what else they was doing? I mean, making them touch body parts and then chanting to make people push them to do it. It's a bit much. Like, you making the environment uncomfortable. Like, and I do believe that dancers do probably get in trouble for gaining weight. So I do believe that she may have complained about their weight once or twice. So let's not say outrageous allegations, okay? Let's not. Remember, everything's alleged. Everything's alleged, okay?
How do you guys respond to that?
This post felt like a punch.
I'm honestly mind blown at the hypocrisy just of everything that you stand for. You're contradicting right before our very eyes.
So who else feels like if this was all true, that she is definitely contradicting herself, like big time? If she did all of this, like big time contradiction, let me know down below.
If either one of you ever ran into Lizzo again, what would you want to say to her?
I don't have any malintentions towards you, and I know you don't believe me, but I'm telling the truth even now. I just want you to learn from this. If you were me, what would you have said? What would you have done? What would you have felt?
Well, Lizzo's attorney, Marty Singer, released a statement. It's long, but we need to read it. It says, in part, evidence of this being a sham lawsuit is confirmed by one of the plaintiffs, Ariana Davis, in her own words in her video interview for season 2 of Watch Out for the Big Girls in April 2023, after virtually all of her alleged claims referred to in her lawsuit. Ariana Davis stated, quote, it's been so amazing and such a beautiful journey. I look up to her so much. I just want to follow in her footsteps, and I just want to share that with the Queen Lizzo herself, end quote. Now, Singer goes on to say, these do not sound like the words of someone who was harassed or discriminated against, and he says that they are confident that Lizzo will be completely vindicated in this matter. Let's bring in Kelly L. Carter. It's a lot to unpack here. It's one thing to read a lawsuit. It's another thing to hear from the plaintiffs yourself. What did you take away from your conversation with them?
I mean, I think that they say they had an experience that they did not expect. They thought this was going to be a safe environment, and an environment that was going to be different from what they might have experienced elsewhere, because this was a woman that stands for body positivity.
Makes it even more sad. That makes it even so much more sad because it's like they went there in the confidence that, hey, it's Lizzo, and she's been through what we've been through, and she's all for, big girls. So why not? It should be an amazing experience, right? We're all big girls. We all can relate. That's sad.
Now, Kelly, what do these women hope will come out of this lawsuit?
Yeah, I think that they want to change the environment for dancers. There's not a lot of conversation about what life is like for dancers. And this is a world where if you miss a step today, there are 12,000 other women outside the door that would happily take your place. And that feels very intimidating, I think, to them. And they want to change that environment and change that narrative.
And Kelly R. Carter, a very compelling interview. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Guys, so tap in, right? What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think that by them doing this lawsuit is going to change anything? I do agree with the fact that they do not document the dancers enough. Like, you don't know the days in the life of the dancers. Like they barely talk about it. So I do agree with that. But I wonder if anything will change. Do you think that Lizzo's fan base will deplete? Do you think she will lose followers, fans of any of that? Do you think that this lawsuit is going to make any kind of change? Like, do you think anything will happen from this? What do you think? Let me know down below. I do know that I read an article stating that Beyonce, whatever the song is where she says Lizzo's name, she no longer says Lizzo's name. So by her doing that, that just kind of, puts out there that she agrees with, she believes the allegations and she's not down for it, So I do think that things will be changing in her career. If Beyonce completely didn't say her name, that's like non-claiming, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no parts, so I don't feel like she would be the only one to do that, you know what I'm saying? But let me know your opinion down below.
Demands or suggestions made by Lizzo, as you say, were they direct, where they said, I really want you to do it, or was it more, I'm afraid if I don't, I might get fired?
Yeah, I think for both of us, there was like this always looming feeling of thinking that if you didn't do something or you didn't adhere to certain suggestions or demands, that your job could be in jeopardy. There have been specific instances, for example, whenever we were in contact with our agents and we were trying to negotiate receiving a retainer while we were working with the team, things kind of started being more tense in the work environment, more hostile. So right off the bat, we kind of already felt like the energy was shifting. And after negotiations for retainers began, we got an email before one of the shows, basically from her, somebody from her management team, saying that the way that we have been acting was unprofessional and the attitudes that we were exhibiting on the job was unacceptable, and that it could be grounds for termination. And that's just one specific instance that we went through in regards to working with the team.
There is so many instances where dancers who did, have fun with her and, go along with like what she was doing and, be down for anything, that they were favored, they were hired for more shows, they were invited on, like private jets and to do cool things and, could hang out with her in like tropical settings like Hawaii and stuff like that.
So what does this sound like to you though? It's like they had to do certain things just to do certain things with Lizzo, like just to enjoy the jets and the trips and all of that. They had to do certain things just for that. That's kind of like selling your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like selling your soul just to have a good time, just to experience this and that with a celebrity, like going against your moral compass. Like, they were literally eating bananas from vaginas. And, right? Like, isn't that the allegation? Like, she was making them touch dancers and eat things from private parts and, like, all this weird stuff. And that sounds kind of like when you sell your soul. Like, you feel like you have to do something for the coin. Like, me no likey.
Some of our coworkers, it's just like there was no line between professionalism and personal. And so we had in our minds that if we weren't down for anything, that we would then be ostracized later. It was this unspoken thing in the camp that if you weren't super fun, like if you like skipped out on all of the like outings and all that stuff, that you wouldn't be seen in good favor from Lizzo, and that you would then not be considered like one of the people that is like cool and down for anything, and then therefore not be booked for as many jobs.
Selling your soul for the coin, just as I said.
You mentioned that there was some kind of a dispute over a retainer. When you parted company with Lizzo, when both of you parted company with Lizzo, was it just kind of happened? Were you terminated? Did you quit? How did the separation go?
Yeah, for me, my situation was a little bit different than Ari's. There was a meeting that Lizzo had. It was a more, well, all of our meetings were pretty intense, but this one was a more intense meeting with her, just emphasizing the fact that she wasn't pleased with our performing and that we still weren't dancing up to, her standards. And basically this was after the intense re-audition that we went through after, having hours of rehearsal, to which she then brought up the allegations of us drinking before shows. I raised my hand to speak. She allowed me to speak. And in that moment, I let her know that, we never partook in those activities, and that we would never put ourselves, her, or the show, or our jobs in jeopardy. And days later, one of her tour managers terminated me in a hotel lobby.
Anybody feel like the reason why she was terminated was because she spoke up? Does anybody else feel that?
What goes into my termination is that I had felt for a really long time that they were questioning my abilities due to weight gain. It was never explicitly said, hey, you're gaining weight, your job is in jeopardy. It was never that. It was very nuanced. It was very under the rug. And I think that language was used to keep from being canceled. Previously, she had said, she was worried about me at South by Southwest. And when I was at South by Southwest, that was the first time I had showed up to a Lizzo event or gig, noticeably having gained weight. There was nothing different about me. My performance skills were the same. My demeanor was the same. My energy was the same. The only thing that was different about me was my weight. And in this meeting, she stated as well that, dancers get fired for gaining weight. And then she kind of paused and looked at me, and I still don't know if she really meant to single me out in that moment. But when she looked at me and she said that, I was kind of like, so she's really concerned about my weight. And then, when we had that private meeting, when I was kind of cornered, they kind of wouldn't let me, get away with not telling them something personal. So, and a reason why something was wrong with me. So I ended up telling them that I struggle with, anxiety and depression, and that I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. And as soon as I said eating disorder, they immediately were like, oh, like in their head, it was making sense as to why I was gaining weight, because it had something to do with an eating disorder.
Wow. See, so she's taking this really, really bad. Like, she had a whole eating disorder situation that she's probably was struggling with, dealing with, and then going to work and constantly getting told that she's gaining weight and it's a problem, and it's a problem. Like, that's got to be a intense environment. Like, yeah.
I had a day off yesterday, so I got some rest finally. Or kind of, it's Amsterdam, so we partied.
Well, I saw what you did yesterday because I follow you on Instagram. And I saw on the Insta stories you were on the red light district.
Yeah, we were.
You were to the Casa Rosso.
Oh my God, how do you know that?
Yeah, because I lived for 4 years on the red light district, in the middle of the red light district. So I recognize a lot of places. And I saw that you saw a live sex show. Please tell me everything about the sex show.
It was people fucking, man. It was crazy. They were just doing it, but you know what? It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I went to the one show where it was like a couple, and they were like passionately making love.
It was really passionate?
It was really, they kissed. They kissed after, I'm not going to say what she did. But I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the pussy. Which one is that?
This is the banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
wear
they
the
have the
banana
banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go.
Yes. And
That's what I want to do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My potassium.
So am I the only one who was weirded out by that? No, for real. Like, dead ass. Like, be for real with me. Be for real. Like, was that awkward or not? Like, whew, a little awkward for me, but I'm just saying, let me know what you think, all right?
Surprise! Hi. What's up? It's Ariana Davis from season 1 of Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls. I know, you're probably thinking, why is she here? What is she doing auditioning for season 2? The short answer is, I'm a singer. And I just want to share that part of me with y'all. I know, I've been on tour. I've been working with Lizzo for some months, maybe close to a year now. And it's been so amazing and such a beautiful journey. And she's probably going to be like, girl, what are you doing? But anyway, I figured though I might as well shoot my shot. I mean, I don't think she knows that I can sing. And the biggest thing about me is that I always say this, but dance is my first love and music is my passion. And if I was to be chosen for the cast of season 2 of Watch Out for the Big Girls, I don't know. I just think that it would mean the world to me to share my voice. I think my voice has gone quiet for too long. And I think that I have a story that people need to hear because I think they can relate to it. And I think it can help change lives and, you know, do what Lizzo's doing. I look up to her so much and I just want to follow in her footsteps and not only be an amazing dancer, but be an amazing singer and storyteller. I love to write music. I love to sing. And I just want to share that with the Queen Lizzo herself. Yeah. Choose me to be part of the singing group. I know I'm already a dancer, but I can sing too. So yeah.
So that's the clip they was talking about, like, how could you take her allegations seriously when she was this fanned out about Lizzo, right? She seems fanned out. She loves her. She wants to be a part of her movement. She wants to be a part of her so bad. How could she be stating these allegations? They're trying to say that she's just a bitter, mad because she was fired. And that's why she's coming out with this stuff, because prior to all of this, she wanted to be down with the get down for so long and so bad. And now they don't, you know, you shouldn't take her seriously because of that, is what they're saying. Like, you shouldn't take what she's saying seriously because of that. But I don't agree with that. I don't. My opinion, okay, I do believe she wanted to be a part of the movement. I do believe she thought she would be safe there. I do believe she thought all of that, right? This might have been before she even gained weight. The problem wasn't until she started to gain the weight, according to her, right? So I feel like this might have been before she even gained weight, before anything, before, you know, then she takes her to the sex show and that kind of like did it, you know. I do think it gradually got there. I don't think that at the time of this last clip, she felt, you know, any kind of way against Lizzo. I don't believe that she came out with the allegations after she was fired. I do believe that these things happen. I do believe she felt weird. She felt awkward. I do believe in not saying nothing because you want to keep your spot or your position because there's thousands of women who wants your spot. Like, I do believe she was under pressure, and I do believe that a lot of the girls go through it, and I do believe it needs to be talked about, and that is my opinion on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And that's what we're here to talk about, guys. All right. So if you have an opinion, anything, guys, if anything I said here was differently, I didn't state it right, please let me know down below. I would love to know your opinions on what it is. All right, guys. I'm so grateful for those of you who watched through. If you made it to the end, please subscribe. Like don't cost you nothing, guys. And I love you all, guys. All right. And this was my opinion, and you've been served. Later.